Welcome to the GCNTech show. Coming up this week, we have aero tyres. Yeah, you heard me right, aero tyres. An e-bike that you could ride up outdoors multiple times with, cyclocross tech, a talent ID program from Red Bull, and new tools from Park Tools. There's a lot going on.
There is. We were also talking about what is the worst invention in the history of cycling.
The worst ever.
Yes. And we're also going to give you an update on the most desirable bike in the world competition, which is ongoing over on the GCN app. So we've got an update on the most desirable bike in the world. Thanks to everyone that's been voting on this. If you haven't yet voted, then the polls, this first round of polls is still open.
Go vote now.
Yeah, so you head over to the GCN app, and if you search in the app for the hashtag most desirable bike, it will come up with all the polls relevant to that. So you can have your say.
So following on from last week's show, where we said comment in the section down below if you thought we'd missed out on some bikes. Well, thanks, because everyone's been doing that. And we have created additional polls over on the GCN app to cover the bikes that everyone felt we'd missed out.
Yeah, I mean, the Scott Foyle RC. How did we forget that one?
Officina Battaglia.
Yeah,
the Portofino.
Portofino, I will put that in.
I'm not sure if that's exactly how you say it.
Yeah.
We've also got the Time Outdoors Look 795 Blade RS as well.
Yeah, we basically forgot France.
France.
Apart from Lafayette. So yeah, we put those in. And the other thing we need to point out is there's a lot of people, sort of commenting things about like sort of smaller brands, like sort of custom, bespoke, but more like boutique stuff.
Yeah.
And there's just so many of these, like it's just kind of not possible to put everything in without missing out important things.
We were saying we didn't feel that we could put smaller brands up against like the big dogs.
Yeah, the big brands have got like a big following, so it's kind of like not fair.
No.
I think what we would probably do is in the future, like if you want it, like we can do a separate thing for
custom bikes
and smaller boutique brands, because it feels like it's a separate thing. And I think the same applies, like a few people commenting about like gravel bikes.
Time trial bikes, track bikes.
Again,
we can't do the most desirable time trial bike in the world. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would. I mean, we could do that if enough people comment saying that's what they want. But because we'll make content that you want to watch. But it's kind of like for this, we just kept it to road bikes.
Yeah, I feel like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like off the peg road bikes.
We'll just gradually keep up doing updates on the most desirable bikes, shall we?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, already it's looking like there's going to be some upsets. There's some big brands that are looking like they're getting eliminated in round one of the voting.
I haven't seen any results yet.
It's knockout. It's just knockout. So there's some.
It's cutthroat out there.
It's cutthroat. There's some big brands getting cut out.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. So this week, are we going to talk about some of the most useless tech inventions that we've ever thought of? Is that right?
Yes. This was what we wanted to think about. What is the worst invention in the history of cycling?
What to do with bikes? Yeah.
Yeah. And we put a community post up on the GCN YouTube page.
Oh, there's some absolute mega ones on there.
Yeah.
They've given us great inspiration. Before we run through those, actually, can I just highlight? Some people might have noticed already. You've got two hoodies on.
Yes.
Why have you got two hoodies on?
Because you're a freak. We've established this.
It's a lovely temperature in there.
You run really hot.
You're an aircon jet stream.
Alex used to gaslight me, right? And he used to make out as if I was cold all the time and he was normal. But then,
22 it's on today.
But then I spoke to some of Alex's other friends, and they were taking
sweaty boy
the mick about Alex because he is always saying it's too hot all the time everywhere he goes.
I could basically.
He's the weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just like everyone else.
I could have a chicken korma and I'd be sweating. Right, should we move on to some of these useless inventions, shall we? Right, let's do it. So there have been loads of really good tech innovations, and some of them along the way have kind of changed cycling for the good, I feel.
Yeah, although there's definitely been a fair few lemons along the way. I'm sure many of them were well-intentioned, but when they were put into practice, they were just a bit pants.
Yeah, they were. There's loads.
So, are you going to kick us off?
Yeah, I'll kick us off. So, this is from Richard Polidor. They say, breaks down by the bottom bracket. Yeah, I'm feeling you with that. They're absolutely useless. Leaves get stuck in there, and they just generally weren't as good as I feel like a lot of people hoped.
I think there was one of the biggest problems with them was rub.
Yeah.
Like you often get wheel rub there.
You've put an area of the bike that is like a high stress, high flex area, and you've put a component that works to a fairly tight tolerance that you don't want any flex, and you put them in the same place.
Yeah, you was going up hills, you'd often get a bit of wheel rub, which is just like, out the saddle. Oh, God, terrible.
Next one, what have we got?
Rainy Singleton says, cable routing through headsets.
Yeah, I don't know if this is one of the worst, but it's frustrating, I feel.
It feels like it hasn't, there's a lot of brands out there that haven't cracked it yet.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, like we're seeing a lot of instances where, we've had like recalls to do with this because like the cables are rubbing on the inside of the headset, which is like rubbing away at the cable, and the cables,
Well, it's just going to mess up your brakes. With no brakes. I feel like it's a hard area to get right. There's a lot going on in a small space, basically. Yeah. Fair enough. Good news, Marty says press fit, plain and simple. They're just not happy with press fit bearings.
It's an easy one though, isn't it? It's an easy one to criticize. I think I'd be tempted to say that is one of the worst as well, but when I think about it, it does on paper make a lot of sense. And there are examples of press fit bottom brackets that are excellent. Yeah. But I've had bikes that have had like creaky ones that haven't been great. But I have had ones where the alignment has been perfect and they've spun amazing. And then what you have is a lighter, system
setup, yeah.
That's can potentially be really good, but it's easier. Well, it can be sort of easier to make, I guess.
Well, it's getting it right, isn't it? It's like lots of like tech innovations.
Yeah.
The more advanced it gets, the less room for error there is. Okay, next up is from Jam Brock. Any component which is prefixed with the word proprietary. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Oh.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. There's a lot of like naff proprietary stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's like when you used to get like a road bike with rim brakes.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And
only a few years ago.
And you used to get like a complete Shimano group set, apart from some proprietary rim brakes that were like put on by whatever brand it was. And it was just like, they were always just a bit crap.
Proprietary rim brakes were always pants.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't know of any that were an upgrade from like a main manufacturing group. Okay, well, I think they're some of the ones that we first picked out from that community post. I've made myself a sort of short list, shall we say, of some that I find quite annoying.
Looks like quite a long list.
Well, it's fairly short. I'll skim through it. Bar end plugs, which absorb road vibrations, I'm going to count those as useless. The idea was that it stopped vibrations getting to your hands. There were these little rubber bungs.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
Oh, God.
I remember being in a bike shop and they were like, these things are great. Look how great they are. I chucked a set of bars on the floor and they just rattled, and then put these bungs in. They didn't rattle. And you think, okay, that's great. But in essence, that doesn't replicate anything like what you get when you're riding along, does it?
No.
L-shaped cranks.
Classic.
They were a bit before my sort of time, really, with cycling.
Yeah.
But I don't see the point of them. Do you remember that device which lubricated your chain automatically as you were riding along?
Yes. I think you can still get it.
I don't know what it was called.
I think it was called a flare.
A what?
Like the
flare.
It's the baddie in
Stranger Things.
The mind flare.
Yeah, going around lubricating people's chains.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen this, it's a little device, has a sort of box control unit which went on the bike and a pipe, I guess, and it just dripped. It went along by one of the pulley wheels and just dripped a little bit of lube on at a preset timed interval.
Yeah. Well, they have them on motorbikes as well. It's the thing you can get on motorbikes, but even so, a lot of people don't use them on motorbike. I think, that wasn't a great invention. Hence why I don't think it took off.
Okay, fair enough.
Adds weight to your bike, doesn't it? And
final one on my list, actually, I missed this one. There was this mud guard which mounted on a singular pole on the side of your quick release skewer, came up by the back wheel, and then the mud guard section was only about this long. So I just don't understand what it was doing. It was you kind of positioned it to try and stop the worst little bit of spray that went up by your backside.
I remember that.
You could get like a carbon fibre one.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean,
it was like a mono guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically anyone I saw that had one, you rode behind them and the mud guard just went like this all the time. It did pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad I've got that off my chest.
A few people commented going, "Oh, the UCI, that's the worst invention." I think we like to joke about that.
We do joke about the UCI. We actually had a brief encounter with Si about this, didn't we, the other week, where we were like, the UCI are too harsh, and he was like, no, he was all for it. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think we'll leave that there. Go on then, what are the ones that have annoyed you the most?
I'm going to go... The thing that springs to my mind straight away, non-round chain rings.
Yeah.
Oval chain rings.
I'm not a fan of those.
Oh, like you'll never see me doing a video on oval chain rings.
Why? Because you love them too much. You'd be just too excited.
I just have a waste of time. Like, it's actually written into my contract with GCN. I'll do anything, but I won't do a video on oval chain rings.
Right, let's get you out this afternoon, test out those lubed arms and legs, see if they're faster. Any others, or is that it?
No,
that's the only thing out of the entire history of
I
cycling.
agree with like other ones that have been said.
Yeah,
but like that's for me. I'm just like it's a perpetual motion machine. God damn it!
Yeah,
it doesn't get more power. No.
Part of me gets the theory behind it, but yeah, it's just never really taken off, is it?
No.
Yeah. All right, I'm glad we cleared that up. Yeah, all right. Well, should we dive into hot tech next, then, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So first up this week in hot tech, we are going to discuss aero tyres, which I think it probably might blow a lot of people's minds when I'm saying those words, that it actually exists. But it was something I saw online the other week, and I messaged you straight away about it, didn't I? I said, have you seen this thing about aero?
He was so excited.
This is a true story. I was that excited. Messaged Dolly, have you seen the thing about aero tyres? You said, no, send me the link. I immediately said, oh, I can't find it. It was online. I can't find the link now. Week later, I found it.
People are commenting right now going, you two are such dweebs.
Yeah, we are.
Such nerds.
Yeah. Anyway, aero tyres. Turns out it's a thing. And I think it's DT Swiss that are working on this at the moment. Is that right?
It looked like it was a DT Swiss patent, yeah.
Yes.
So it makes sense because, well, years and years ago, I was at DT Swiss Megabase.
Yeah, okay.
In Switzerland. And they were telling us about some new ERC wheels that they'd just launched and all their aero testing that they'd done with Swiss side to create these wheels, which was pretty extensive at the time. And one of the things about the wheel was that, and through their investigations, was that they'd found that the tyre then, which was the Continental GP 4000, which has now been replaced by the 5000, was serendipitously aero. So it wasn't designed to be aero, it just happened to be really aero. And it was down to the shape of it and the tread pattern on the tyre, which they theorised was somehow tripping the air as it hit the frontal sort of portion of the wheel and tyre combo, and then was able to then create that air to become turbulent and then and stay attached longer to the
I'd
wheel.
I'd heard the same thing. I didn't know it came from DT Swiss doing
Well,
their
no,
research,
other
though.
people had. I don't know. It came. They were telling us about it and they'd observed it, but I think a few people have observed the same thing. Interestingly, this is why then you had pro time trial tyres that were made by Continental. Originally, they were like their TT tyres were just like a complete like slick tread, and then they started making them just for the pros with the GP 4000 tread pattern printed in them. Yeah, because they found it was more aero.
So what it would appear the research is looking into is using the cornerings, the sort of shoulders of the tyre, to instead of having a tread pattern that is just there to try to look like it's changing the grip of the tyre, because we already know that a tread pattern doesn't drastically change how the tyre performs, but they're using little depressions which are carefully positioned and shaped to really then try and control the airflow.
Yeah, it feels like that's the biggest gain for a road tyre.
Yeah.
Because some tread patterns on road tyres. There's like I've done a video on how tyres work. You can check it out if you're interested. But like, they have the sipes on the side to help deform the tyre and create grip. But mechanical grip on tyres for road bikes is minimal. Like, it doesn't do a huge amount. So it makes much more sense to have tread patterns on road bike tyres that are trying to make the tyre more aero. That's I think really interesting. So yeah, watch this space, see if they develop something.
I'm absolutely buzzing about this.
Yeah.
Things I didn't think that I'd see this year, aero tyres.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. Next up in hot tech, cyclocross world champs were at the weekend.
Oh, they were?
Well,
if you've not seen it, amazing race in the men's elite between Van Aert and Van der Poel.
Incredible. We won't talk about it because presumably everyone's watched it on GCN Plus.
Well, you can catch it up if you haven't. That's good.
Couple of observations, just quick fire ones actually. So the speeds that these guys are riding at, absolutely outrageous. We're talking 30 kilometre an hour average speed over all sorts of terrain and technical elements in the course.
It's faster than us on the road.
It actually is. Yeah, it actually is. So both Van Aert and Van der Poel were using aero socks, aero helmet, skin suit, which they've kind of been doing all throughout the season. But it shows that they're putting an element of sort of kit choice onto aerodynamics. But also, get this right, Van Aert used a 48-tooth 1x-aero chainring on his bike. That's like...
For cross.
For cross. Most people would be happy with that on their road bikes.
Yeah, for cross, that's big.
Unfortunately, it didn't help him in the sprint at the end, did it?
No.
Such is life.
Oh, you've just...
Oh, we can edit that bit out. Although no one edited that bit out last week, did they?
God, the people are going to watch it on catch up.
Oh, it's all right. Sorry, everyone. They'll cut it out. Update from our good friends at Park Tools, actually.
Oh, yeah. You got Tool of the Week for us?
No. It's me. Right, let me get these first, and then we'll go on to what I want to talk about.
Calvin sent us these.
Yeah, cheers, Calvin. You have that. It's careful, it's heavy. Don't knock your laptop over. So, right, I'm back. That was quite seamless, wasn't it? Park Tools have sent us a handful of new products. I've got some of them here, but get this right. GCNTech, basically the muddy, knobbly, tired version of you and I.
Yeah. Those guys.
They were talking dirty on us the other day.
What?
They said, so this is a little socket bit holder, and Doddy said that us guys always lose the sockets and the stuff that goes on this. Now, I'm going to say no, I haven't. I never lost any tools.
Well, we've not lost the tools, and also we then went to find the tools, the new tools, show you guys, and the people that had them last was GCNTech.
Yeah.
And they've gone missing.
So the two tools that are missing, and we don't have here, I'll talk about first.
I'm not a detective, but draw your own conclusions, ladies and gentlemen.
So the first thing that's missing is a cable end crimp pliers. Now these, hear me out, I can hear you going, well, I don't need those, just use pliers. But if you're running a mechanical group set bike or rim brake with cables, super helpful, and it gets the cable ends really neat and tidy. A tool you probably didn't think you needed. Also, a PS1, not a PlayStation 1, a pad spreader 1.
A pad spreader 1.
So it's like a little I'll put a picture up on screen, help illustrate this for everyone, as soon as I don't have it to show everyone. It's a section of disc brake rotor with a handle on it, and you just pop it in between the brake pads.
I saw one of those at Eurobike. They showed me, it's really good.
Okay.
But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have one anymore.
And this is the socket.
GCN have got it.
This is the socket holder. Now, this is the sort of thing I would love to have at home, actually, in my garage workshop. Put all the stuff neat and tidy on it.
Next to your file of facts.
Yeah, so look, already, before we started filming, I've organised all these so they're sort of more evenly spaced.
Oh, you are something else.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the wheelchair stand then?
Well, it is what it is. It's just a big daddy-o wheel stand for like truing your wheels.
So we have like the professional grade wheelchair stand in our sort of workshop maintenance area, don't we? But this is like a slimmed down version.
Yeah, and the nice thing is it can do
through axles
as well.
Yeah, it includes these little adapters.
These little adapters in.
But this is a nice sort of slimmed down version. There you go, you got it. Go on, hit us with the name and the number.
It's the TS 2.3 professional wheel truing stand.
Boom. So if you're into trying to build your wheels up at home, this could be something that would be really helpful, isn't it?
I'd just get you to do it for me.
I'm rubbish at building wheels.
Yeah, I am as well.
Maybe I'll have to do a maintenance video. building wheels, I can learn myself.
I just don't do it often enough.
Yeah. Cool, glad we cleared that up. Next up in hot tech, Orbea.
A new bike.
Yeah, a new bike from Orbea. This is the Gain e-bike. Now, it comes in quite a few different versions, actually. You've got carbon models, aluminium models, as well as coming in a sort of road bike spec and a gravel-esque kind of build, like 2x versus 1x. Orbea are saying that they've worked really hard to make sure that the bike feels unobtrusive and that the rider and the motor work seamlessly together. Which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah, it's got the new Marla X20 e-bike motor in, but it's got like a tune on it.
Yeah,
it's what I want to describe it as.
Yeah,
it's with the electronic motors in these systems. The brands like Orbea have worked with Marla to almost like when you remap an engine.
Yeah.
To where the power delivery is occurring to make the bike feel more unobtrusive, more realistic as to when the power comes on is what they're saying.
Yeah.
So it's not just like all of a sudden surge of huge loads of power when you some e-bikes.
I think that's really interesting. So a couple of bits of information for you. This custom map they've made is designed to work best at 75 to 90 RPM. It delivers 55 Newton meters of torque. The bike weighs 11.5 kilos. And two really interesting points that I found out about this. So the battery is located in a down tube, and instead of just making a massive chunky down tube that then incorporates the battery in, they're using part of the battery as the structure of the down tube, which is really interesting. So this is a concept Formula One cars do, actually, where they use the engine and the gearbox as part of the rear structure of the car, instead of making a structure and then fitting the engine in.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's
clever.
Yeah, it's quite clever, actually.
Makes sense.
A few bits of stats about the range and what you can get from this bike. So Orbea are saying, as an estimate here, a 70 kilogram rider riding this bike with it on the lowest assistance setting could get about 4,000 meters worth of elevation out of this bike, which is mind-blowing.
That's like, how many ascents of outdoors is that?
More than 2, that's for sure.
Getting on for like 3 ascents of outdoors.
Yeah. If you have it on the middle setting, 3,000 meters of elevation, and on its highest level of assistance, 1,500 meters, which I think is really impressive. Prices, we'll put those up on screen, but in terms of pounds, we're starting from 2,899, ranging up to 9,299.
Nice.
Yeah.
Red Bull news next.
Oh, yes, this is interesting, right? So Red Bull have started their Talent ID program. So this is in collaboration with Bora Hansgrohe as well as Zwift and Strava. So, they're basically trying to find the next young professional riders, really, through using a combination of time segments on Strava and on Zwift. So I think they're like picking out and identifying key areas and then assessing all of the riders which have set like standout times through those.
What are the segments on Strava?
Well, I don't know all of the individual ones, but to make it accessible for everyone around the world, I think they've taken a lot of the big data from Strava and Zwift, and they've chosen key climbs in different regions and areas that are iconic in cycling and people have good times on.
Cheddar Gorge?
Probably not Cheddar Gorge. I mean, it might be. I've not seen where the climbs are located.
You're going to leave me out next week.
Yeah, this could be it. Could be the last tech show for us if you get too good.
Could be.
It'll just be me by myself. You'll be like racing with the pros.
Yeah, you can make it as cold as you like in here.
God, it would be amazing. We'll have it single figures. So I think this is really good. It's a good example of using like Zwift and Strava to help identify new talent. And I'm all for it, really.
Yeah, sounds cool.
That means more hot tech next week. Right, it's now time for comments of the week.
I want man on single again.
I feel like we've rambled on for too long. No time for a jingle this week.
What?
Yeah, right, straight in. So from under last week's show first, everyone's still enjoying laughing that they pretend that they don't know what
This is incredible.
Yeah.
I keep this going.
Yeah.
There's so many, everyone's just posting different names.
David, Fritz, Jeff and Ollie are getting funner each week. The camera crew can't even keep it in anymore. Hybrid Blood, is that a donut sticker I see?
Might be.
They also said time to do a high-low series.
High bike, low bike.
Yeah, I've been trying to suggest this for ages.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Imagine we do that.
We kind of did it with the hill climb thing.
Yeah, but I think we could. I just don't want to steal someone's concept.
It's homage.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to get a seal of approval.
Yeah.
Andrew McAllister, what's he got to say?
He's talking about us getting Silka on board as a sponsor.
Yeah.
I think Ollie just got out-nerded by Josh Portner. Gladly.
Yeah.
I'll take it. It's great. And we're going to get Josh on at some point as well, so we'll have some really good nerdy chats with him.
I emailed him last week asking when he was coming to the UK. He couldn't give me a date yet. He says his trips were changing around loads.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Comic Con, the Warhammer conference, and
all the nerd stuff.
Chess club.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot to fit in.
Yeah. Underneath our tyres video from the weekend, where we did cheap wheel, expensive tyre versus cheap, expensive tyre, cheap wheel.
Yeah.
I think I said that right. David Harris, another great video balancing tech and banter, especially when Alex says, "Stay there, I'll come to you," and then laughing as Ollie struggled with your creaky bike. You always, whenever we start any of these little tests and experiments, you always start in the wrong gear. You're always in like a big gear on your bike.
No, yeah, I'll never learn. Anyway.
David, go on.
David Lau says, the restrained, in that same video,
Yeah.
we cycled past a lady who opened a car door. And David Lau says, the restrained look Ollie gave to the lady who opened the door in front of his path.
I honestly, I saw this in the video, and the look you gave was a look of disgust. If we can play the clip now, let's play it. So you opened the door and you just went, and like, you had glasses on, but if I could have seen your eyes, you scowled. Anyway, also, underneath the tech vid of my track bike, not many people have watched this yet, but A. Hastwell. So how can I gain the 20 seconds I needed? How much faster could I go by using more tech? Always leave upgrades in the bag for next time. Never leave upgrades in the bag for next time. I basically had every upgrade I could get, so it's all down to me, really.
Yeah. Oh, you did good, though. And it was really good.
I know what you're going to say.
You got beaten by a 12-year-old.
I knew you were going to say that.
Caught and passed.
Fred's not 12.
Well, I thought he was.
He's older than 12.
13, 12 and a half.
Maybe.
Anyway, other thing I've got to point out about that everyone getting your name wrong.
Yeah.
So the Global Bike Festival, they missed you out the sizzle reel.
Oh.
They then did a post, the people organising the festival.
Maybe I'm just not going.
They did a post on Instagram saying, like, here's your festival presenter lineup, and they listed everyone apart from you, Terry. and then they so I reckon what we should do,
double bluff.
I reckon if you're watching it, go on the Global Bike Festival Instagram. You'll see this post. Comment beneath it, just saying like, what about, and just say random name.
Random names.
Why isn't my favourite presenter? Blah, 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 just say random.
Yeah. Why isn't Billy coming?
Yeah. Why is my favourite presenter Gordon not coming?
Yeah. Where's Sandra?
Yeah. just write whatever name you want down there. And because the Global Bike Festival organisers, they don't know about.
I was really looking forward to the Global Bike Festival. I thought we were going to have a good laugh.
We'll get you there.
I'll just buy my own ticket if not.
But I can't believe they missed you off of me again.
Oh, whatever.
Anyway.
Right. It's now time for the bike vault, my favourite part of the show.
Yeah, come on then.
Right.
Yeah.
Quick fire bike vault this week.
Upload your bikes, GCN App, or vote on them and stuff, and then we're going to vote on them as well.
So the most Superniced from last week is a bike. We picked this one out, but someone's now voted it a Superniced.
No, it's not. It's not even in focus, and it's cropped out.
So this is Gary J. Williams, 63, after featuring
People are
the
going
show.
in the app and trolling us. It's not Superniced.
I disagree, yeah. Sorry, Gary. So first up this week is Peter HT with a Specialized Tarmac S-Works 2017. I like this bike.
Yeah, that's a Superniced.
Easy Superniced.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah.
Cracker that one. I missed those old red and black and white paint jobs like that.
Alfern?
Ale Frey 11 with a Bianchi Infinito XE.
Oh, I like this.
Shadow stand.
Oh, it is a shadow stand, automatic, Superniced.
It's good, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the backdrop, yeah. Weird that it's kind of got one bottle, but...
We can let that slide.
Yeah.
Author, null. I'm assuming that's, we can fix that in the edit. Their username will come up.
A Pinarello Dogma F in Summit Red.
Oh, I didn't know it was called Summit Red. Bora Ultra WTOs.
Summit Red is where I'm from. That means something red.
Summit Red.
Yeah.
That's the north.
Yeah.
That's the north
in
for you.
Yorkshire. Summit Red.
It's just a nice from me. Lovely bike.
Weird angle, weird bench. Like, also, it's cracking me a bit. Like, the bench will scratch your bike like
Yeah, that's lent on the forks and the chainstay.
Oh, no.
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 Next in is from...
Again.
Why are the usernames not coming up?
Don't know, must be an issue.
Technical issue.
We'll get Cannings to fix it.
It's a Kona Libre CR from 2021. I like this. It's a cool bike. It's a shame it's not presented very well.
Badly presented, isn't it?
Yeah.
Badly. I agree. It is a really cool bike. I like the bottles as well.
Yeah.
They're nice, smart bottles. Those.
Does it say where this is? No. Don't think so. Nice from me.
I think it's somewhere in Germany.
Yeah. Germany is. Next one in is from Louis Tiga.
Louis, an Oro STC. Oh, it's an Oro Venturi. There we go.
Well, a bit too much bush in there.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, the fence looks in good condition, but it's the way in which, like, I mean, that lawn needs a mow.
Yeah.
Weeding at the edge as well.
Yeah.
It's in Biggie.
Fence could do a lick of paint.
Your chain ring, weird little. Oh God.
So much potential.
It's a really nice bike. It's really smart. I love the matte black finish on it. It's really, and it's, but no.
Please fix the error of your ways and resubmit. Next one in is from Carl in San Diego. I think he might be from San Diego.
I think he's submitted something before. I've seen Carl in San Diego's name before.
Well, you haven't seen this bike before, have you?
No.
This is incredible. This is the last one for this week in the Bike Vault. And it's a basket bamboo bike.
It's well presented. It's clean. Well presented. It looks good.
It's in biggie smalls.
It's interesting.
Cranks are aligned. Valves are aligned. There's no
chimney.
Whilst it has a basket as a main structural element, there's no unnecessary stuff on it.
There's no gubbins on there.
No.
It's clean, isn't it? It's a good backdrop. Oh, it's super. That is a super nice.
Yeah,
that is a cool bike.
Besides that rotor on the front.
Oh yeah.
Right, that's it. This week's tech show done and dusted.
Just checking it doesn't have an oval chainring.
No, or one of those things that drop lube onto the chain every
It doesn't. We're in the clear. Yeah. We're in the clear.
Brakes onto the bottom bracket?
No.
Okay, cool. Right, we'll see you next week, shall we? Right, we're out of here. You can go warm up now. You want a hot chocolate or something?
Yeah. Get a hot water bottle.
Hotty botty.